Be careful when people have an agenda. Because see, whenever they have their agenda, they're going to follow their plot, not God's plan. You got this thing where people try to mix God in with politics and all that, make God a socialist and make God a conservative. God is God. And as Christians, we Christians. I'm not trying to push you to be a Republican. I'm trying to push you to be a Christian. If conservative values line up with your Christian faith, go for it. If liberal values don't line up with your Christian faith, and I know it can't, read Isaiah chapter 32, 5 through 9. Then leave it alone. Let's catch this caller. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Y'all notice what I noticed when other guy and black conservatives started on the phone?
Did I notice they did what now?
Did y'all see what I saw when black conservatives and the other guys started calling in and got on the show? It started thundering and lightning out here. I think they got something to do with that, boy. It's evil.
Well, I mean, it's ugly. How you doing, Chris?
Doing all right. Your right-hand man is going to get a check from me before Friday.
Okay. Man, you know, any support for the show, we appreciate it, and I hope somebody calls you.
And I'm challenging others to do that, too, because, look, even everybody calls all the lightning and thunder a while ago. We all still like a little family. I enjoy listening and talking and conversing with everybody. And they need to come off and donate too, because they all enjoy the show like I do. We all need to pitch in to keep this thing going, man. Guys, we got to
Man, do you know, I believe that if just 50% of the people that I believe that are listening to this show and getting enlightened by this show would just contribute something, if just 50% of them would contribute, we'd probably get 3-4 hours.
Yes.
They're listening, but they won't give.
We're like a little family here, man. I feel like that. I really do. Even with the ones I don't agree with, I still enjoy it. I listen to it, and I listen and I do my homework and, figure out what they're saying.
Right, and check behind me as well, because I'm not Jesus, I'm Andre, and I want you to get it for yourself.
I'll tell you what, church I go to, I'm about the only one that carries the Bible in there. They put it on the screen. I said, yep, they put the new, new edition Bible or whatever. I'm old school. I learned in King James, and that's what I hold with and stay true to. So I always take mine in. I appreciate you doing that. He did. But, you just can't take somebody's word for something.
You got to go get it for yourself. That's the only way that you're going to get an intimate relationship with God, is to get into your word yourself. When you come to the church on Sunday to listen to the preacher, it should be for confirmation of your information that you've already gotten yourself.
That is the best way I've ever heard anybody put that. Confirmation
of your information that you've gotten from God yourself.
Wow, that's awesome. Very good. Very good.
Well, look, if they want to get their pest control done, who do they call?
They need to call old Chris at 901-581-5534.
That's 901-581-5534. Godfather Pest Control. He'll kill what's bugging you. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
901-452-3094 or 901-324-7490. I thank God for the police sponsors that we do have. They are so faithful, Q, and they help us do so much. And if you out there, God touching your heart, we getting fed by this ministry. I mean, if you give us the resources, we'll do the work, because ain't nobody out there standing up for God, man. Everybody got these own agendas and stuff that they follow with their politics or with their race or whatever the ism is that they're facing, but ain't nobody standing up for God. And I'm telling you something, it's getting worse. Facebook and Google, they're pulling down people's accounts, and if you're promoting conservative values or you're promoting Christian values, they find some kind of way to label you, or you're a terrorist and you're a threat, and they're silencing you. What you're not looking at is these liberals are running on, let me give you something, let me give you something, let me give you something. What y'all are not adding to the equation, they plan on running this next election. Matter of fact, they're doing it right now through Facebook and through Google, because that's how they attract the millennials. That's where they get it at. And you ain't got to have no bunch of money in your campaign finance or campaign coffers to get to the millennials, because they go to Facebook for free. actually doing it.
Yeah, they are really doing all the social media,
The social media is where they run it in.
Because they know all the kids, the millennials.
That's the millennials. That's what they did. But while we looking at MSNBC and CNN and Fox News, that ain't the tip of the iceberg where these folks is plucking from.
Nope.
It's from Facebook. It's from Twitter. It's from Google. They even stopping Trump followers and silencing Trump. These people are tacticians in what they're doing, man.
Yeah.
And people are running around playing games and these bias games and don't realize the game being played on them. Q, somebody asked the question, was Jesus a socialist? Because, people like other guys, they feel like that liberals are good because they give people, they feed the hungry and they take care of the homeless and people that don't have anything, they get them something. And people have actually associated that with being a Christian. Do you think Jesus would have been a socialist?
No.
I don't either, but we're going to find out. We're going to play this video, but let's see what this call is first. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Pastor Guy. How you doing today?
Man, my man Joseph, talk to me, baby. Talk to me.
Man, just thanking the Father for another day, thanking Jesus for being the way.
Man, that's what it is, man.
Amen, Pastor. I just wanted to comment on this hostile Antifa type of situation. Man, they was letting these guys get away with wearing bandanas all over their head, wearing bandanas across the face, fully covered. And they jumped some guy, man. Some guy was there just trying to film some stuff. They punched them, they spit on them and everything. And I just couldn't believe it. They were getting away with it. And now they're finally starting to say that they might have to take off the mask and stuff like that. But I'm also saying that because, like, I was at a stoplight last night, and I heard yelling at the other stoplight, man. And someone was yelling at someone in another car, and then they were swerving on them, and then they started going at a high speed. And I was like, man, it's that same hostile attitude, man. Get in people's face, spit in people's face, tell them off, tell them whatever. So I don't know, Pastor. What you think about it, man?
You're reading it right, and notice this here. I'm trying to find an article I played back a while ago. Antifa proclaims to be a black organization.
They're not.
No, they're not, man. These are white guys that put hoods on, going out here knocking these windows out of banks and all that. But they put it on blacks because when the drama goes down, that's how liberals do. They'll create all the hoopla, but when the bloodshed comes, they gonna make sure it's not them. And I'm sure I'm trying to find it now. This thing back when they had it on CNN. Well, Antifa is a black organization. It's the same mentality, man. This white couple that were downtown this weekend, and they told the young black teenagers to stop shooting firecrackers at people. And they beat that couple, man. They broke that man's leg and everything, man. It's a mentality on that liberal side that they are willing to get violent to force their beliefs on you, man. That's what it is.
Yeah, you're right, Pastor. I just seen it, man. That violence is increasing. It's not really like the conservative mind state, kind of keep to yourself, you know what I mean, stay out of people's business. I seen one where these two people did almost get in an accident, but they both did make it through. But one car busted a quick turn and followed the car, and I was like, oh, man, I was just praying for that person, man. I was praying for him.
Memphis is a dangerous place with the mentality they got now, man. It really is.
Well, hey, Pastor, I appreciate what you do, and I'm just like Chris, man. I hope people just support the show, man, because we really got something right here, man, and just how we could hear it worldwide and everything. This is a real blessing, Pastor. So God bless you, and God bless you, Q. Y'all take care.
Thank you, my friend. Hey, man, that's the call of the day. Let me see, can I find it? I can't find it in my saved mail. Let's see, can I pull it up? Man calls Antifa a black organization on CNN. Well, I mean, when that guy did that, man, and he was adamant about the fact that, no, this is a black organization, and I said, no, man, you putting that kind of stuff out here, you trying to set black folks up to get killed, but you know what? What? That's what they go for. see if this will get it. 901-452-3094 or 901-324-7490. You can call in. You can call in if you want yourself a 2003 Mercedes E320 that runs good and look good, and it's going for $2,900 or best offer. Q, what do you think of while I'm trying to find this? Well, it's not going to be hard to find this. I guess I better go back and play what I needed to play before we get out of here. Was Jesus a socialist? In order to find that out, Q, I think we need to take a look at socialism. Wouldn't you say?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Other guy, I hope you're listening, so you can find out, was Jesus a socialist?
Well, if socialism is nothing more than being kind to other people, then you might think the answer is yes. But you can be kind to other people and be a capitalist. John D. Rockefeller probably gave away more money than anyone in human history, and he was certainly a capitalist. Bill Gates and Warren Buffett have given away millions, too. To get an accurate answer to our question, we need to define socialism. Socialism is the concentration of power into the hands of government elites to achieve the following purposes: central planning of the economy and the radical redistribution of wealth. Jesus never called for any of that. Nowhere in the New Testament does he advocate for the government to punish the rich or even to use tax money to help the poor. Nor does he promote the ideas of state ownership of businesses or central planning of the economy. In Luke 12, Jesus is confronted by a man who wants him to redistribute wealth. "Master," the man says to Jesus, "tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me." Jesus replies, "Man, who made me a judge or divider over you?" And then he rebukes the man for being envious of his sibling. How about Jesus' parable of the talents? Talents were a form of money in Jesus' day. A man entrusted 3 of his workers with his wealth. The 2 who invested the money and made a profit were praised, and the one who buried his share so he wouldn't lose any of it was reprimanded. Sounds a lot more like an endorsement for capitalism than socialism, doesn't it? Yes, Jesus spoke of the difficulty for a rich man to enter heaven, but not because having money is evil. It's not money, rather it is the love of money, the New Testament tells us, that leads to evil. Jesus was warning us not to put acquisition of money and material possessions above our spiritual and moral lives. Was Jesus promoting a socialist model when he kicked money changers out of the temple in Jerusalem? Again, the answer is no. Note the location where the incident occurred. It was in the holiest of places, God's house.
Church.
Jesus was not angry at buying and selling in and of themselves. He was angry that these things happened in a house of prayer. He never drove a money changer from the marketplace or from the bank.
In your church.
Jesus advises us to be of generous spirit, to show kindness, to assist the widow and the orphan. But he clearly means this to be our responsibility, not the government's. Consider Jesus' Good Samaritan story. A traveler comes upon a man at the side of a road. The man had been beaten and robbed and left half dead. What did the traveler, the Good Samaritan, do? He helps the unfortunate man on the spot with his own resources. Ask yourself, to help the poor, would Jesus prefer that you give your money freely to the Salvation Army, for example, or have it taxed by politicians to fund a welfare bureaucracy? Progressives like to point out that Jesus said, "Render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's." But that has absolutely nothing to do with high taxes or wealth redistribution. It was the seed for the idea of separating church and state. It certainly wasn't the same as saying that whatever Caesar says is his must then be so, no matter how much he demands or what he intends to use it for. So there is no evidence that Jesus was a socialist, and there's lots of evidence that he supported free markets. In addition to the parable of the talents, Jesus offers his parable of the workers in the vineyard. In it, a landowner hires some laborers to pick grapes. Near the end of the day, he realizes he needs more workers to get the job done. To recruit them, he agrees to pay a full day's wage for just 1 hour of work. When one of the laborers who had worked an entire day complains, the landowner answers, "I'm not being unfair to you, friend. Didn't you agree to work for a denarius? Don't I have the right to do what I want with my own money?" That's a testament to the principles of supply and demand, of private property, and of voluntary contracts, not socialism. Jesus never endorsed the forced redistribution of wealth. That idea is rooted in envy, something that he and the 10th of the 10 Commandments rail against. Most importantly, Jesus cared about helping the less fortunate. He never would have approved anything that undermines wealth creation. And the only thing that has ever created wealth and lifted masses of people out of poverty is free market capitalism. Read the New Testament. The plain meaning of the text is loud and clear. Jesus was not a socialist. He couldn't be. He loved people, not the state. I'm Lawrence Reed, president of the foundation.
Now, I hope that helps y'all get it. Jesus wasn't a socialist. Was Jesus a conservative? Nope. Jesus was Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
When you see me subscribe to conservative values, it's because it lines up with my Christian values. I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican. I subscribe to conservative values because they line up with my Christian values. At the moment that conservative values change from that, I won't subscribe to that either. What I'm trying to get you to do is, when you go into these polls, don't forsake your God that you say is your God. Take God with you. Don't let these folks mislead you because they bring up what your race is. There's no salvation in you being black. There's no damnation in you being black. There ain't no black man in no Bible. Don't say no black man, so they go into, well, this is Kush, this is the black man, or this is Ham, this is the black man. And these people that tell you in rhetoric, ask them what a white man is in the Bible, or a Hispanic man is. It ain't about what your race is. Don't y'all get it? The very thing that Cain fought for is the very thing that you are rejecting. That he lived for the day that he could be judged by the content of his character, not the color of his skin. The content of the character in black America is not looking good. No. School board members' sons sitting around here riding with people when they're doing attempted murders, and they getting on the TV complaining about the fact that the U.S. Marshals shot somebody who tried to kill the police, allegedly. People that proclaim to be of the church are backing doctrine and politics that goes directly against the word of God and say God is okay with it. Y'all better watch California. Because it's coming here soon. Go ahead, I can't hardly hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you can't hear me?
No, hold on. Okay, try again.
Can you hear me now?
I got the wrong headsets on.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, good. I had the wrong headsets on.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I said, didn't they have, 3 earthquakes already?
No, they had, I know a couple of them, one was a 6 point something, then a 7.1, and I don't think it was a coincidence that town that burned up in California was Paradise, California. And see, you can't put your trust in these politics. John Roberts, he's the one that's blocking Trump on this illegal alien question on the census. John Roberts is the same man that was to vote to make same-sex marriage. He's the same man that was to vote to pass Obamacare. Something else he went in on stuff. So in Roe versus Wade, it was passed by a Republican-appointed court. So you know, there's no faith in politics. There's no faith in government, but there is obedience to it. Look, God bless. I love you. If you like the show, support the show. Go to AndreGuy.com, click on Revelation Christian Center, or go to Lisa Revelation at the little cash app. Help us out, y'all. God bless. We'll be back tomorrow. Here come Bill with some sports, y'all.
All right. I'm in.